The news broke, and it felt like a punch to the gut. 2 massive starters done for the season right before we faced the Rams. But before you hit the panic button, look closer, because this roster shakeup might just be the accidental miracle that saves our running game. We aren't just looking for replacements. We are looking at an evolution of this offense exactly when it matters most. Before we dive into why this bad news might actually be our winning lottery ticket, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, share this with every Bears fan you know, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a single second of this playoff run. Let's be real for a second. When you see the injury report light up with season ending next to names like Ozzy Trapilo and TJ Edwards, your stomach drops. It's natural. We are heading into the playoffs, the stakes are astronomical, and we are losing key pieces of the puzzle. But I want to challenge that feeling of dread today. I want us to look at this not as a tragedy, but as a forced pivot that could actually unlock elements of our game that have been stagnant for weeks. Could these replacements actually provide something that the starters didn't? I'm telling you, the answer is a resounding yes, especially when we look at the linebacker core, and there is a fascinating silver lining at left tackle too. Let's start in the trenches with the left tackle situation. It is officially Theo Benedet time. With Trapilo out for the year, Benedet is the guy stepping into the spotlight. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trapilo was our rock in pass protection, and losing him hurts. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But when we talk about the run game, this is where things get interesting. Theo Benedet is a mauler. While Ozzy was improving, Theo is simply the superior run blocker. He brings a level of nastiness and fluidity that we desperately need to jumpstart this ground attack. Think about the athlete we have in Benedet. The coaching staff clocked him at 16 miles per hour on a route this past week. That is terrifying for a defensive back to see coming at them. When was the last time you saw a backup left tackle step onto the field and you actually felt a spark of excitement instead of pure dread? This speed opens up the entire playbook for the toss-crack game. We can get him out in space, pulling to the second level, and clearing lanes that just weren't there before. I will never get that image out of my head from the Bengals game. Remember that? He took that defender, drove him 10 yards out of bounds, and absolutely pancaked him into the dirt. That is the kind of violence and attitude we need to bring this rushing attack back to life. Recently, we've been banging our heads against the wall trying to run between the tackles, and it hasn't been working. Now, with Benedet and Darnell Wright, we have athletic bookends. We can get on the edge. We can let Benedet do what he does best, move bodies in space. He might not be elite in pass protection yet, so we have to lean into his strengths. And his strength is running the football. We need this shift because, let's be honest, the ground game has been non-existent lately. For a while, we were the gold standard, leading the NFL in rushing. But the last 2 weeks? It's been painful to watch. We averaged a miserable 3.6 yards per carry against the Lions, and their defense isn't exactly the 85 Bears. Then against the Packers, it got even worse, 3.3 yards per carry. We couldn't even crack 100 yards as a team. That is not winning football in January. We have to re-establish our identity. Theo Benedet allows us to run behind the left tackle with a frequency and confidence we didn't have before because he can actually move with the play. Now, I have to be fair and point out that Theo did play in that Week 18 struggle against Detroit, so he's not a magic wand. But earlier in the year, when he was in the lineup, we were gouging teams on the ground. The profile is clear. Theo is the better run blocker, Ozzy is the better pass protector. It's a trade-off, but it's one we can win with. Then there is the Braxton Jones factor. It looks like Theo gets the start, but having Braxton available off injured reserve is a massive luxury. Historically, Braxton is another guy who favors the run game over the pass. He's struggled with his anchor and gets bull rushed, but maybe, just maybe, sitting out for 3 months has done him some good. Maybe that ankle is fully healed, his strength is rebuilt, and he's fresh legs in a league where everyone else is exhausted. If he gets on the field, we might see a rejuvenated player. At the end of the day, it isn't doom and gloom. Losing Ozzy sucks, but losing Darnell Wright would have been a catastrophe. Darnell is a second-team All-Pro. That's the reality. Ozzy was coming into his own, and I hated for him because he fought to earn that spot, but Theo Benedet brings a specific skill set that might just be the antidote to our rushing struggles. So, I need to hear from you right now in the comments for our question of the day. If you had to bet your house on one guy to protect the blind side this Sunday, are you riding with the athleticism of Theo Benedet, or do you trust the experience of Braxton Jones? Let me know below. Now, let's shift gears to the defense, because the TJ Edwards injury is the headline grabber. But this is where I think we genuinely upgrade in terms of raw physical ability. DeMarco Jackson is stepping in, and the one thing he provides that TJ simply cannot is elite, blazing speed. We love TJ Edwards. He is smart, he is physical, and he is a leader. But lately? He has looked slow. Since returning from his injury, he's been a step behind. In the modern NFL, if your linebacker gets stuck in space against a fast running back or a slot receiver, you are in trouble. DeMarco Jackson changes the geometry of the defense. He has the athletic profile to play sideline to sideline. Lateral movement has been a massive issue for our linebackers recently. Both TJ and Tremaine Edmonds have looked heavy-footed. Tremaine has the length to disrupt passing lanes, but the speed hasn't been there. Don't forget, when DeMarco Jackson started for that month-long stretch, he was electric. He was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week against the Browns. You don't stumble into an award like that. He had 7 tackles, an interception, 2 pass breakups, and a tackle for loss in a single game. He followed that up with a 15-tackle performance against the Steelers. The guy is a magnet for the football. Honestly, when TJ and Tremaine came back, a lot of us were scratching our heads asking, are we sure Jackson shouldn't still be playing? Now we don't have a choice, and I think we are about to see that DeMarco Jackson is more than capable. He isn't just a backup. In the short term, he might be an athletic upgrade. We are losing the high IQ and the green dot communication that TJ brings, and you can't easily replace a captain. But purely from a performance standpoint, TJ hasn't been himself. He's been battling soft tissue injuries all year, similar to Kyler Gordon, and it compromised his quickness. We have other leaders. We have Tremaine, we have Kevin Byard, we have Jaquan Brisker. The defense will not collapse because of a lack of leadership. This speed upgrade is crucial specifically for this matchup. The Rams love to run 12 and 13 personnel. That means 2 or 3 tight ends on the field. You need linebackers who can run with those athletic tight ends in coverage. TJ, in his current state, would have been a liability there. DeMarco Jackson gives us a fighting chance to neutralize that threat. We also have to look at the depth. With Noah Sewell out for the year too, we are thin. We might see Amen Ogbongbemiga get some snaps. He had a 14-tackle game earlier this year. Or maybe Jalen Reeves-Maybin gets elevated. He's a veteran who knows how to play. The big question for Dennis Allen is going to be, who is the third linebacker in base downs? My guess? We don't play much base. We probably keep more defensive backs on the field, maybe keep C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the mix, and rely on speed. Ben Johnson summed it up perfectly when he was asked about the injuries. He said, "Look, it's another next man up situation. We've done this all year." And he is right. This team has been defined by unsung heroes. Think about Josh Blackwell blocking that field goal in Vegas or recovering the onside kick against the Packers. Think about Amen Ogbongbemiga stepping up when his number was called. Think about Jay Walker catching that 4th-down touchdown from Caleb Williams to force overtime against Green Bay. We have had dudes step up all season long. It is a testament to the coaching staff, the culture, and the belief in that locker room. Losing 2 starters is tough, especially in the playoffs, but these aren't game-altering losses like losing a quarterback or a superstar pass rusher. We have depth. We have guys who are hungry. And honestly, I think we are going to be okay. I might be wrong, we might watch on Sunday and really miss TJ's brain in the middle of the field, but with the way he was playing, I am ready to see what the young speedsters can do. We are resilient. We are ready. and we are going to rally behind these new starters. We will be covering every angle of this matchup all week long as we get ready for war against the Rams. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you stay locked in with us. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, bear down,